You can keep it all there. You can get this done in 3 fights. Usyk Joshua, Fury Wilder 3, and then the winners face each other for all the marbles, for all of it. And guess what I think would happen? I think Fury's going to once again outclass Wilder for the 3rd time. All right? I think he knows Wilder inside out. I think he knows him inside. I don't think he's afraid of him at all. Fury has clearly shown in the past that he has a great chin. He answers those questions in the first Wilder fight. I don't want to hear about USS Cunningham. Like, that was a long time ago. He bounced right back up.
No, man.
Look, he bounced. He rose from the ashes in that 12th round against Wilder like Weekend at Bernie's. Like Weekend at Bernie's too, hearing that song play, and he just rises from the ashes and finishes the fight. And he clearly won like 9 rounds in that fight. So what I'm saying is he's figured Wilder out at this point. So I think he's going to win that fight. And then Joshua,
you keep going through that deck of cards.
Although Usyk can't capitalize on Joshua's big Achilles heel, which is the chin, obviously. So I don't think Usyk. I think Usyk just stepping into the heavyweight division. There's a lot of we all love Usyk, and he's the dude can box. He can box. He dominated cruiserweight. He's moving into heavyweight, but he has a lot of questions to answer at heavyweight.
I gotta tell you guys, man, I'm favoring Fury to win this fight, but I just don't think it's the walk in the park a lot of people are expecting. I just don't. I'm telling you that right now. Okay. And look, I don't think the guy was drugged or none of that bullshit. Okay. But he clearly was. Look, before the conspiracy started and all that,
he poisoned him.
I could tell you right now that, I still believe that shot in the 2nd round or 3rd round, I forget the round now, but that shot hurt
behind the ear.
Yeah, and he couldn't recover. Like, and Fury gets 100% credit for landing. I'm not taking away credit from him, but you have to ask yourself: is that punch going to land there again in the sweet spot, like that early in the fight? It plays such a big vital role. Who knows? He might do it in the 1st round for all I know. I don't know, but is it likely? That's what you have to ask yourself. And here's the thing, man. If you keep going to that deck of cards, an ace is going to come out. Yeah. And Wilder in that deck of 52, right? He don't just got 4 aces. He's got 20 of them. So if you want to keep going back to the deck of cards, go ahead. But I'm just telling you guys right now, I mean this when I say this. I'm not trying to be dramatic or anything. Wilder is one of the most devastating punches I've ever seen with my eyes. So to count him out, people are crazy if they count him out. I just got to, like, all glove gate bullshit aside, all that aside, he's a dangerous man.
Yeah. He possesses one of the biggest weapons in boxing, which is that right hand. I just think that Fury has it figured out, and he's going to have a tough time setting that up. But wouldn't it be interesting if you had the biggest fight that could be made in boxing, Fury versus Joshua? Would have been humongous, but instead you could end up with this: Wilder versus Usyk for undisputed 2022. Could you imagine that? But maybe you could still have Joshua versus Fury in a loser's bracket or something like that, but wouldn't have the same luster. I just think that after seeing all of this develop over the past, year and a half, I just think that Fury and Arum never had the intentions of facing Joshua just yet. I really think that they wanted that big UK fan base fight, and they've been waiting out these shutdowns, and they just expected this whole time to be Wilder versus Fury 3 or Fury versus Wilder 3. I think they were playing that card the whole time and just buying time.
Hey, this is the Power Punchers podcast brought to you by Wilder's right hand. Like, you know what I mean? That's what it's about. And now, just really quick, you did mention, there's no doubt in my mind that Fury has heavy punches because he's a big, heavy dude. There's no doubt in my mind, right? But he's not like, let's keep it real. He's not the power puncher of the division or something. You know what I mean? Like, You got to respect his power. He's a big dude. He could hurt guys, but he's more of a TKO guy. He's an accumulation guy. He's always been that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even and I got to go back because I remember the Wilder fans telling me, "Oh, where that power out of nowhere come from?" Good question, because dude was out on his feet and Fury couldn't take him out till like this till they threw the towel in the seventh round, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? After landing flush shot after flush shot, I don't care what anybody tells me. If AJ hurts Wilder like that, he ain't going another 5 rounds. Like he just isn't. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I just think, and I've thought this for since the Klitschko fight. What is that? 7 years, going on 7 years. When Fury is right, he's the best heavyweight in the world, bar none. I don't even think it's that close. I think he
I don't
separated himself, and I think he can become whatever he needs to become in the ring on that
bar
particular
none,
night.
like bar none for real. Like
Yeah,
like
I
like.
do. I do. I think he's head and shoulders above all these guys.
I don't know about a bar, man. Maybe a bite size Snickers,
Now,
something like
this
that.
is an interesting question right here. Fury's entertaining, but he would get killed by any of the greats from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Even though I'm a Fury fan, I would agree with that because I don't think this is a historically good heavyweight division. Although we're entertained by it, it's not a
Uh,
historically good heavyweight division, right?
all I will say is that we got to look at the styles. That's all I'm going to tell people. Not everyone's going to want to hear it, but there's going to be some legends who just have a style that isn't favorable against a Tyson Fury. Doesn't mean they can't win or whatever, but I'm just saying a lot of those fights are interesting. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. I mean, who would you throw out by just a quick example specifically? I mean, a smaller heavyweight, smallish, like
Yeah,
A Marciano.
yeah, like Marciano, like and
That's fair.
nobody unless like I know there's a lot of historians out there that swear Marciano could take on any heavyweight in history, and I don't know about that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just because of his size. Let's be honest, Marciano would be a light heavyweight today. Day before weigh-in, he would cut down to 175, bro. Like that's
Right.
what he would be. Maybe cruiserweight, right? Um, love him to death, but I mean, you got to throw. Let's stick to do this instead. 70s, 80s. Look, I'm not saying it's impossible for him to win, but I think it would be a tall task. Is Frazier? I think Frazier would have a lot of problems with Fury.
Because of the size.
Yeah,
I'd pick Frazier though. I don't know. It would
this is
just it's just tough for me to it would be tough for me to pick
yeah.
Fury over Frazier. But look, all that being said, I just think Fury is the best heavyweight in the
Shout out to
division.
Factoid.
I
Comment of
think
the night, and I'll leave it with that.
y'all keep going back to that, but I'll just say he's answered that question since. He's answered that question, and he popped up from that Cunningham. And yes, Cunningham doesn't have heavyweight power, but he hopped up from it quick, and he's answered that question since. D style and factoid. He's answered that question since. He
I
got
didn't say
dropped.
anything. That was all Factoid.
He got dropped. He got dropped by the biggest puncher in the world and rose from the ashes in the 12th round and finished the fight. And then not only that, took the fight to him in the second fight, walked him down and stopped him, and bullied the bully. So I think he's answered that question definitively.
I think what he's answered is that he has really quick recovery time.
Yeah.
Like that's what he answered. You know what I mean? Like he can recover right away. But we also like it's possible to drop him. Like we've seen it. You know what I mean?
You want to pick the knockout, don't you? You're going to pick Wilder by knockout. I know it.
No, I got Fury winning by decision in a fight that looks very similar to the first fight.
I think he's going to stop him a little later.